So hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Creatrix channel. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vishal Soni and I have cleared engineering services examination 2 times from electronics and telecommunication branch, both times in double digit rank. In 2014 my rank was 98 and in 2015 my rank was 25th. I have served as a Group A Gastro Officer in Indian Railways and in Indian Telecommunication Services. So most of you must have been following me on the Creatrix channel for electromagnetic field theory. So if you are a seeker of a free education, this is the channel for you, and you must understand that all these free initiatives is coming your way because of the Unacademy. So Unacademy is the revolution in the field of the free education and the affordable education. So how can you access those free courses? So if you want to access the free courses, you must immediately subscribe this channel, Creatrix channel, because all the top educators of the country is providing the free course on this channel. And that free course is absolutely brilliant in content, that is systematic, that is organized, and that is complete. So complete playlist you will be getting of a particular subject. You can develop the concept, you can gain confidence. More than that, you can love the subject. So immediately subscribe this channel. Secondly, if you want to access more free content, then you must immediately download the Unacademy Learners app, because on the Unacademy Learners app, top educators of the country are conducting the free special classes. In that free special classes, you can get topic wise clarity of a particular concept. And do not forget to follow me on the Unacademy Learning app. So you can also access the courses. So you must have two things. First is your YouTube channel. This YouTube channel, Creatrix YouTube channel, must be subscribed. Secondly, you must understand that you should have the Unacademy Learning app. That is must for you in order to crack the examination. So these are the parts of the free education. And if you want to organize your content well, if you want more comprehensive manner, if you want other advantages of the Unacademy, then what are the other initiatives that is running by the Unacademy? So another initiative that is running by the Unacademy is Unacademy Plus. So on the Unacademy Plus, this is very affordable for those who actually want to take their preparation to the next level. So आपको Unacademy Plus में क्या क्या मिलेगा? You will be getting the live classes on a fixed time, so that you can get more disciplined, you can get more organized, and you have something in your mind that at this particular time my classes are going to run. Apart from that, you will get free test series designed by the educator itself. So gone those times when we have lot of errors in the test series, we do not have the discussions of the test series. So there the test series will be conducted by the educators. They themselves will be discussing the solutions of that particular thing. So you can imagine that your preparation is going to the next level for this. Apart from that, those who have prepared themselves for the examination, so for them there are crash courses also available. Again the crash courses will going to help you in achieve good ranks. Those who have already achieved good ranks and want to improve their rank, for them there are rank improvement batches. More than that, you can also see that there are unlimited practice sessions. So what do you understand by unlimited practice session? Which means there will be various doubt solving sessions. Apart from the doubt solving sessions, there are weekly quizzes, and with the help of those weekly quizzes you can enhance your problem solving skills. So lot of unlimited doubt solving sessions, lot of quiz sessions, systematic content, structured content. You can download the PDF after the lectures, so you don't have to waste your time in order to making notes. You can utilize those times to practice the particular concepts, or you can use those times to just write down the formulas so that you can remember those formulas quickly. Apart from this plus subscription, there is also one subscription which is known as Iconic. So Iconic subscriptions are for them who actually do not have the self motivation but having the talent. So if they are having the talent and you do not have the self motivation, that how can I push myself to crack the examination, so in this Iconic subscription you will be assigned a personal coach. So this personal coach is going to be with you every time, and he will help you to achieve your dreams. You will get a study planner which will be customized for you. You will get the expert guidelines who have already topped the examination. They will be basically hand holding you to crack the examination. So if you think you are not self motivated, if you think you do not have the proper background to crack any particular competitive examination, so this Iconic subscription is must for you. This is going to help you. So if you want the free education, then YouTube channel and the special classes are must for you. And if you can afford a little bit, how much you should afford, that we'll discuss in a while. But if you can afford a little bit, you should come on to this Unacademy Plus. And more than that, if you want the expedited process in your preparation, आप जल्दी से एग्जाम निकालना चाहते हैं, जल्दी से अपनी गलतियां सुधारना चाहते हैं, so this Iconic subscription is for you. Then now let us start today's lecture, which is on the communication system. So now let us start the lecture.
Hello friends. So welcome to the second lecture of communication systems. In the previous lecture we were dealing with some standard functions. So next standard function is sync function. So what is a sinc function? A sinc function can be represented as sinc of t, and it is defined as sine pi t divided by pi t. So this is the definition of a sinc function. Now let us see some properties of the sinc function. So first property of the sinc function is that value of sinc function at t equal to 0. So if I want to find the value of sinc function at t equal to 0, it becomes sine pi t by pi t. We know that limit theta tending to 0, sine theta by theta is always equal to 1, so this value becomes 1. Or we can write that sinc of 0 can always be written as 1. Second important property is value of sinc at time t tending to either plus infinity or t tending to minus infinity. So we have to calculate the value of sinc function at both times plus minus infinite. So it becomes sine pi t upon pi t. We know that the value of sine itself will be somewhere between minus 1 to 1 as t tends to either plus infinite or minus infinite, and denominator actually reaches plus minus infinite. In both the cases it becomes some determinate by infinite and value always comes out to be 0. Another important property of sinc function is that sinc function is an even function. So if I write sinc of minus t, I can write sine pi of minus t upon pi of minus t. Minus minus gets cancelled and we get again sine pi t by pi t, or it can be written as sinc of t. So sinc function is an even function. Next property, we want to calculate zero crossover of sinc function. So the zero crossover are those points at which sinc functions actually becomes 0. So we will put simply sinc t equal to 0, and it becomes sine pi t upon pi t equal to 0. For this expression to be 0, this sine pi t must be some multiples of n pi, or we can write it as sine pi t is equal to sine n pi, and we will get pi t is equal to n pi, or we can get the value of t as n. So what can be the values of this n? Suppose if I choose this n as 0, then it will refer to t equal to 0, but we know that at t equal to 0 the value of sinc function is 1. So 0 crossovers value n cannot be considered as 0. So the value of n can be either plus minus 1 or plus minus 2 or plus minus 3 and so on. So this is very important observation, that 0 crossovers of sinc t will always be equal to t equal to n, where n can take values of plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and so on. So these very important points we have collected. Now let me plot the graph of this sinc function. So this is our sinc t versus t. Now the graph of the sinc will look like something, a decreasing sinusoidal sort of function, and in the left side also, because we have already seen that sinc function is nothing but an even function. The value of sinc function at t equal to 0 becomes 1, and 0 crossover comes out to be at, when we will put n is equal to plus minus 1, then the values of t can be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. So the zero crossovers can be at plus 1 and minus 1, 2 and minus 2, 3 and minus 3, and so on. So this is basically the function of sinc function. This lobe is known as main lobe. So the important property is that we can see that as t tends to infinite, it becomes 0, and in between it is crossing the zeros at points t equal to 1, t equal to 2, t equal to 3. Also it is crossing zeros at t equal to minus 2 and t equal to minus 3. But exactly at t equal to 0 it is attaining its value 1, and it is also its maximum value. So these few basic terms about sinc function we must remember. Next important function is sampling function. So sampling function is very similar to sinc function, but it is defined as sin t by t. So this is the basic definition of sampling function. Now let me find out some important properties of this function also. So again I am calculating the value of sampling function at t equal to 0. So it becomes limit t tending to 0 sin t by t. We know that limit theta tending to 0 sin theta by theta becomes 1. So this value becomes 1, or we can write that sampling of 0 will always result in 1. Again, limit t tending to infinite, sampling of t can be written as limit t tending to infinite sin t by t. As t tends to infinity, the value of this function will lie somewhere between minus 1 to 1, and this will become infinite. So it is some determinate value by infinite, and it becomes 0. Now we know that sampling function is also an even function, because sampling of minus t can be written as sine of minus t upon minus t, or it becomes sin t by t, or it again comes out to be sampling t. So sampling function is also an even function. In this also we can calculate zero crossover points. So zero crossover points are those points at which sampling function becomes 0. We know that sampling function is sin t by t. So for this ratio to be 0, it is necessary that sin t should be 0. So if sin t is 0, then sin must be some multiples of n pi, or we can write as t is equal to n pi. So we get 0 crossovers as t equal to n pi, and value of n, if we choose 0, this results value as t equal to 0. But we know that at t equal to 0, this is having the value as 1. So n cannot be taken as 0. Now further values of n as plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 can be taken, or I can write it as t is equal to n pi, where n equal to plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3. So in sampling function also, the zero crossover points are very important. So what are the zero crossover points? These points are t is equal to n pi, and n can take values plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and so on. Now let me again plot the graph of sampling. So the shape of this function also looks like very much similar to sinc function. So let me draw the positive side of sinc function. Since it is an even function, so it will extend to the negative direction also. This becomes sin t by t, or sampling of t. We know that value at exactly t equal to 0 is 1, and zero crossovers are at plus pi, plus 2 pi, plus 3 pi. Also in the negative side it becomes minus pi, minus 2 pi, minus 3 pi and so on. Again we can see the value at t tending to infinite becomes 0. Also it has value of 1 at t equal to 0, which is its maximum value. Now let us understand how to convert a given function into sinc function. Suppose this function is given and I want to convert it into some sinc function. So what we will do, first of all, let this sine function is not present, or let me consider that this sign is obsolete. So what will be the value of this ratio? Since I am considering that this sign is not present, so it will be 2t by t, and this t and t, this gets cancelled and we get 2. So if I want to write this in sinc form, so after neglecting sine I got the value 2, then I will replace sine by sinc and I will divide the angle of sine by pi. So this is the straightforward method to convert any sine t by t function into sinc function. Suppose something like this is written, sine at by bt, and I want to convert it into sinc function. So first of all I will neglect sine and this t and this t gets cancelled, so I got the value of a by b. Now if I want to write sine at by bt into sinc form, so it becomes a by b. After ignoring sine, I will write sine as sinc and I will divide the angle of sine by pi. Similarly, I can write sampling of t, which is nothing but sine t by t, in the sinc form. So first of all I will neglect this sine, so this t and this t will be cancelled and output becomes 1, and I will write sine as sinc and I will divide the angle of sine by pi. So this is the straightforward method for conversion of any sine t by t form into sinc function. After understanding few basic signals, we just want to understand some basics of energy and power signal. So first of all we will discuss how to calculate the energy and power of few signals which we will be using in communication system, and the details of energy and power signals we have already studied in signals and systems. So I'll be just touching upon few basics and I'll be using those signals which has some importance in communication systems. So first of all, what is an energy signal? We know that an energy signal always has finite energy for infinite possible duration. So this is the definition of energy signal. We know that the unit of power is joule per second and unit of energy is joule. So we can relate power and energy in terms of units, that power will be some energy divided by time. So this unit becomes joule per second, and this is joule, this is time, and it is also joule per second. So the definition is that it should have finite energy for infinite possible duration. So finite divided by infinite becomes 0, or we can always say that the average power of an energy signal is always equal to 0. So what are the formulas to calculate an energy signal? Suppose x of t is an energy signal, then the formula to calculate energy signal becomes minus infinite to infinite mod of x of t square dt. So this is the formula to calculate energy signal, and if it is a discrete time signal, then formula to calculate energy of the discrete time signal becomes mod of xn square, where n varies from minus infinite to plus infinite. Now let me calculate energy of few standard signals. So first standard signal is our rectangular pulse. This is the rectangular pulse. The duration is from minus t by 2 to t by 2 a. This is x of t and t. We know that the width is t. So the energy of this signal can always be written as a square multiplied by width, or I can write energy as a square multiplied by t. Another important signal is triangular pulse. So this is minus t to t. Width is always equal to 2t. So this is x of t, this is a. What will be the energy of this signal? The energy of this signal will be a square by 3 multiplied by width, or I can write it as a square by 3 multiplied by 2t. Another important signal is sawtooth pulse. So the graph of sawtooth pulse will be something like this, 0 to t. And this peak value is a. So the energy of this signal will be a square by 3 multiplied by width, or I can write a square by 3 multiplied by t. So these three signals we must remember, and we will directly use these formulas for energy. Now one more important relation, that if we know the energy of x of t is E, then the energy of minus of k x of minus at plus b will become k square multiplied with E by a. Or in general I can write, if x of t has energy a, then x of minus at plus b will have energy as E by a. So these relations are very important, which means the time shifting operation does not affect the energy of the signal, but time shifting followed by time scaling will affect the energy of the signal. And if any constant is multiplied, then energy is scaled by the square of that particular constant. So these few basic properties of energy we must remember. Next important signal is power signal. So what is the definition of the power signal? The power signal has finite power, or it has infinite energy. So every power signal has finite power and infinite energy. Now the formula for power signal can be limit t tending to infinite 1 by t minus t by 2 to t by 2 x square t dt. So this is the formula for power calculation, and t is here a variable. So this formula can be applied for periodic as well as non-periodic power signals. So here t is a variable. It is not necessarily to be time period, because a periodic signal can be power signal as well as a non-periodic signal can also be power signal. Now if we know that our signal x of t is power signal as well as it is periodic, in that case we can modify the formula as 1 by t naught 0 to t naught x square t dt, where this signal is periodic with fundamental time period t naught. So this formula is exclusively for power signals, and this is the general formula. It can be used for power signals as well as periodic signals as well as non-periodic signals. Now let me correlate the formula of power with few important terms. Suppose I am writing formula of power as 1 by t naught and integration of x square t in one time period. So what I am doing here, first of all I am squaring the given x of t as x square t. So this step is squaring, and again after squaring I am taking the mean of this x square t over one time period. So I have taken the mean. After squaring and taking the mean, this is known as power of x of t, or I can say that power of x of t is nothing but mean square value of this signal x of t. So first of all I squared this signal and I have taken the mean or bar of this signal. So this is the alternate representation of a power signal. A power signal nothing but it is the mean square value of signal x of t. So if I want to find out the RMS value of x of t, we know that if we know the mean square value, we simply have to take its under root, or we can get under root of pxt. So in this way we can calculate the RMS value of xt. So to calculate the RMS value of xt, we will calculate the power which will represent the mean square value, and again we will just take the under root of it. Suppose I am taking a signal which is a sinusoidal signal a cos omega naught t plus theta. So what can be the power of this signal? We know that the power of this signal is a square by 2, and this will represent the mean square value. So what will be the RMS value of x of t? The RMS value will be under root of mean square value, and we know that the RMS value of sinusoidal signal is a by root 2. Another important property of a power signal is that if x of t is having power of p, then minus of k x of minus at plus b will also have power as k square multiplied by p, or in general we can say that x of minus at plus b will have power of p. So this explains that the power of any signal does not change after time scaling or time shifting or time reversal operation, and if it is multiplied by any constant, then the power gets scaled by the square of the constant. So these are few basic important properties of the power signals. Now let us discuss a very important point, that suppose I have a signal x of t which has frequency of f1 and it has power of p1. Another signal x2t which has frequency as f2 and it has power of p2. Now if I am forming a signal which is multiplication of both these signals x1t into x2t, and I want to calculate the power of x of t, so I can directly multiply the power of these two signals as long as the frequencies of these two signals are different. So whenever I need to calculate the power of any two signals, and if those signals have different frequencies, then simply we can multiply their powers. For example, if I have a signal as sine 2t, suppose I have a signal x of t equal to sine 2t multiplied by sine t. Now if I assume this signal as x1t and this signal as x2t, we can see that the frequency of this sinusoidal signal is 2 and frequency of this sinusoidal signal is 1. The frequency of both the signals are different, so we can directly calculate the power. We know that power of a sinusoidal signal is 1 square by 2. This is 1 square by 2 and answer will be 1 by 4. So as long as the powers are need to be calculated of a signal which is multiplication of two different signals, then we can directly calculate the power by multiplication of individual powers as long as the frequencies are different. Another example could be, suppose a signal is written as x of t equal to m of t cos omega ct, and the frequency of m of t is omega m and it is not equal to omega c, and I have to calculate its power. So it has a frequency of omega m, it has a frequency of omega c, and both the frequencies are different. So to calculate the power, we can calculate the individual powers. So what will be the power of m of t? The power is nothing but mean square value. So since m of t is unknown, so I can symbolically represent its power as its mean square value. So first of all I squared it and then I take in the mean. And what will be the power of cos omega ct? It will be 1 by 2, or the power of xt can be written as mean square value of mt divided by 2. Another example, if xt is a constant signal, then what will be its power? Its power will be a square. And what is the frequency of a constant signal? The frequency of a constant signal is 0. So let me calculate the power of signal a cos omega ct. So it is the combination of two different signals. This signal a has frequency 0 and this signal has frequency as omega c. So to calculate the power, I can multiply the individual powers. The power of DC signal will be a square and power of sinusoidal signal will be 1 by 2. So this power becomes a square by 2. Another example can be, what will be the power of this signal? So as long as this theta is constant, the whole function becomes constant and power of a constant signal becomes the square of the constant signal, or cos square theta. Again, if any signal is written like this, m of t cos theta. So what can be the power of this signal? The power can be written as, this is m of t, it is having some frequency omega m, this is DC signal, so the frequency of this signal will be 0. So this signal can be considered as DC signal as long as theta is constant. So if theta is constant, then it will be DC signal having 0 frequency. Both the frequencies are different, so we can calculate individual powers. What can be the power of m of t? It is unknown, so symbolically it can be represented by its mean square value, and it will be multiplied by the power of DC signal, that is nothing but the square of the DC signal. So till now we have understood how to calculate energy and power of few standard signals. Now let us try to learn RMS value of few standard power signals. So first signal is sinusoidal signal. We know that the power of sinusoidal signal is a square by 2. And power is represented by mean square value, so it becomes a square by 2. The power of full wave rectified version of sinusoidal signal remains the same, it becomes a square by 2. The power of half wave rectified version of a sinusoidal signal becomes a square by 4, or we can say the RMS value will be a by 2. The power of a DC signal will be the square of the DC signal, or we can write the RMS value will be equal to A. Another important signal is square wave. So this is the square wave. The power of the square wave becomes a square, and the RMS value becomes A. Another one is half wave rectified version of square wave. Half wave rectified version of square wave. So this looks like some pulse train. This will be 0, this is t by 2, this is t. So in this case the power becomes a square by 2, or the RMS value becomes a by root 2. Next important signal is a triangular wave having time period t. The power of triangular wave will always be a square by 3, and the RMS value becomes a by root 3. Last important signal is a sawtooth waveform. So this is the sawtooth waveform having peak value as a and time period t. This will also has power of a square by 3, or the RMS value becomes a by root 3. So these were the few basic power signals for which the RMS value as well as the power we must remember. So this is for this lecture. Thank you.
So if you have liked today's lecture and you want to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, the very first thing that you should understand that you should use this particular code. What is the code? The code is VishalGate. Write my name and attach gate to it. So by using this particular code, you will be getting all the advantages of the Unacademy Plus. All the added advantages will be directly assigned to you. Secondly, you will directly come to under my guidance, and that will surely help you to crack the examination in the least possible time, and you will also get the guidance of the complete team. Okay, and the most important thing is that you will immediately get the 10% discount on that. So immediately you are enabled to get 10% discount once you use this coupon code. So for example, if you talk about the Plus subscription, which is costing you 25,000 for 1 year, and if you use this coupon code VishalGate, immediately you are going to get 10% discount, which is 22,500. And if you talk about the Iconic, for the Iconic subscription of the 12 month, this will cost you around 40,400. So these are the cost of the 12 months. And if you want to talk about the 2-year subscription, 2-year subscription cost of the Plus, it is your 27,000 after discount. If you want more discount than 10%, and you have already attended the special classes, then you will be having some credits in your account. Do not forget to use those credits so that you can get more discount than 10%. Now, how can you pay these amounts? So there is one good news for you, that you can pay this amount by using credit cards and debit cards by using the facility of the zero cost EMI. So if you want to pay this particular amount of 22,500 with the help of zero cost EMI, so the zero cost EMI can be availed by using credit cards and debit cards. Remember, you can use the credit card of any company, but the debit card is allowed for HDFC and the Bajaj Finserv. Apart from that, if you want to directly pay this much of amount, you think that this particular amount is the most affordable fees that can be provided to you for 1 year subscription. तो आप directly क्या कर सकते हैं? You can use this credit card, debit card, direct payment. You can also go for the EMI options, okay, and you can directly pay this amount by using net banking. Every time you think of the Unacademy Plus subscription, the first thing that should come in your mind is this particular code. Do not forget to use this code once you take the subscription, because I have already told you that this particular coupon code is going to give you the lot of advantages, so you cannot miss the opportunity to use this code. So every student who want to come on to the Unacademy Plus, they want to take the advantages of the Unacademy Plus, they want to empower themselves in the best possible manner in this digital era, they want to be the part of this revolution, then this is the time for you. You do not have to wait for it. If you are in the first year, if you are in the second year, you are in the third year, the best possible time is right now to prepare for the examination, to dedicate yourself, to give yourself the opportunity so that you can get the success as early as possible. Apart from that, you should also join this GATE aspirant group. So this GATE aspirants group is already having 150k plus students, so you can join it. There are a lot of discussions going on between students. You can get the advantage of those discussions. Okay, you can also join this Creatrix channel, which is a Telegram channel. So everyone has to join this channel so that you can get all the PDFs of the lecture which is being assigned to you. Fine. There are various channels which you can go for it. So various channels in the association with Creatrix. So you can follow the channel of your interest. And this is it in today's lecture. So let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you so much.